What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today, and welcome back to the Aussie Sim Racing Series F3 Xbox One League. We are here at the Spanish Grand Prix. There's the latest drivers' standings there on your screen from the last round. So let's go through the stewards from the last round in Russia. We just go through the qualifying highlights. Now, we have to go back all the way to China because there was an incident where I think Winnie's Prime copped a pit lane penalty when he was speeding in the pit lane, which was then removed because he was doing the correct speed. So his 5 seconds was reinstated. And then now, with the Russian ones, there was Stingy tried to overturn a pit lane penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but there was no proof of another pit stop because it was only a one-stop race, so pretty much the penalty remained. The incident between Frizy and Ikawas for rejoining unsafely, that was more Ikawas. It was deemed a racing incident. And of course, the incident between myself and Lockie, where I thought he dive bombed, was also deemed a racing incident. Now, there was a lot of changes before the Spanish Grand Prix got underway. Now, it all started when I inquired with my teammate, Unveil, whether he was going to come back and take part in this championship. Unfortunately, he had to pull out because of work commitments. So there's been a lot of driver movements since the last round in Russia. So Sanguinius Prime has moved from Renault to join me at Ferrari. Formula Dragster has been promoted to the F2 League, pretty much dominant in the last round in Russia. So that allowed a few others to move around. Flying Simon has moved from Williams to Renault, as well as SpagBol has moved from Sauber to Renault. Now, I can't really remember if there was any other movements, but I think that were the only ones. But yeah, there was quite a lot of movements around. But yeah, as you can see there, we did our first run. Wasn't actually too bad of a qualifying run, but I felt we could definitely go a lot quicker. I don't know if you all realise now, I think Sato actually crashed out during this qualifying session earlier on. So it was definitely a tough battle there, as you can see there from the timing screens. They weren't exactly quick during the first two sectors, but we were quick in the third sector, which seemed a lot weird, let's just say. But yeah, we're going out now on our final run. We are on the soft tyres as always, as Lockie's retired from the session. But I'm going to pipe down for now. I'm just going to let you enjoy a lap around Spain. Have fun. There you go, we go a little bit quicker. We could have easily gone into the 19s, but I did a big spoiler. That's how Sato retired from the session. But yeah, if I just hadn't lost the rear end down at turn 10, I probably would have easily got into the 19s, which was definitely one of the fastest times around here. I don't think anybody else got into the 19s around here, so that definitely would have been a feat. But I settled for the 120.1. And I knew Sato, I reckon if Sato had not crashed out during qualifying, I reckon he probably would have gone a little bit quicker to me, maybe even into the 119s. But yeah, there we go. We have actually got another pole position. That's our second one, I think, for the year from memory. Going on the other one from Australia. But yeah, it's my teammate there in P5. Qualified on the medium tyres, so he's going for the different strategy. Lockie's definitely going for the different strategy on the hards, but here we are for the race. It's fine as always here in Spain. It never rains in Spain, but we did change the setup, a strategy a little bit differently. Told us to go on to the soft and hards, but I changed it to the soft mediums. Just I felt like definitely the hards I don't think was not the right tyre, not at the time anyway, but yeah, here we go, sitting off in the formation lap as always. Just trying to get the tyres warmed up again, but yeah, it feels good to be on the front row of the grid again after a few poor performances. As you can watch on board here with my teammate from the formation lap. As you can see here, there'll be a bit of a moment here between himself and Roxman. Just the tiniest of nudges, and it pretty much disqualifies them from the formation lap. So they're all back on the starting grid. But I don't think they were the only ones there. That bollard wasn't going to last long, I think, during the race. But yeah, here we are. This is it. Another pole position, the second one for the Aussie Sim Racing Series. Hopefully our start can be better, unlike the first pole position that we had in Australia, where I just couldn't get the, had too much wheel spin. I'm rambling on a lot, as you could probably tell from here. It finally took us a little bit while, but here we go. We're all set for the 5th round of this championship. It's 5 red lights. Very long hold, but let's do it in Spain. And again, it's probably not one of our best starts. Again, the wheel spin definitely didn't help there. It's another battle here with Sato down into turn 1. And Sato takes the lead of the race. Nearly lost again to Roxman, but Sato's going well wide down into turn 1 and 2. But this is a bit of an interesting moment between Sato and myself. Nice lag. And because of that, my front wing is now damaged, which really compromised my race. As you can tell, it was just horrific, the turning in. It was just so horrific that in the end I just had to let Roxman go through. I did actually decide to change the strategy a little bit, as you can see there, but we just had to come in, had to change the front wing, as there's no way in hell I was going the full race distance with a broken half front wing. But we come in, change the front wing as always, but we're going onto the hard tyres. We're going to go a little bit long here and hopefully go for a shorter stint at the end of the race. But held a little bit there, but it's a bit of a moment for Stinchy. Unfortunately, he had a bit of a, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but you can probably tell from the graphic, the top left, he put on the intermediate tyres. I'm not sure that was a mistake or what. I think that might have been a mistake, actually. But he's on board with Sato from the start. As you can see there, my wheel spin, his start was actually a lot better than mine. But you see all the carnage there. Roxman, I think, Hyperdeuce, and Schulte to Aussie fighting 3 wide there. It's Sato definitely runs wide here. But coming up into turn 3 now, as you can see there, I'm just nowhere to be seen. So that is definitely a bit of lag. He's on board. We're Sanquinius Prime. And, oh, that's it's actually Ike was there in the McLaren. He's definitely well and truly jumped the start there, so it's not ideal for him. But coming into turn 1, there goes Schulte destroying the 100-metre board there. So thank you for that, Schulte. That was definitely a braking marker, all gone. But look at all this carnage. There goes me up in the distance there, losing my front wing. But bit of an interesting moment there as well between these guys. As Schulte goes down the inside, tags Ike, but that's an easy move now for Sanquinius Prime, or is it? No, Schulte comes back, nearly tags Ike, but he does the switch back, nearly does the switch back. And yeah, they pretty much stay where they are. He's on board with Captain Farah, position 13. Oh dear, he got squeezed there. Again, Hyperdeuce He's had another shocking start to the race. I don't know what it is. Must be missing the start by a long way, but there's a little bit of contact there, and looked like Captain's actually turned Lockie around. So that's definitely compromised Lockie's race. You see there, Buurtonn using every single bit of the road around turn 3, and he'll go up the inside here. Oh, dear me. I think that might have been one of the Force Indias. He's on board with Buurtonn to start, and he actually comes to drive through as well for being put off by Kiowas. So those two are definitely not got off to the greatest start here around Spain. There's coming into turn 1. There goes the sign, and it comes to whack up the rear, and that'll explain why Lockie went off very wide. Look at all this carnage up in front of us. You see there, like I said earlier, he used every single bit of road around turn 3. And there's the move. Oh, that was actually Stinchy with the front wing. Again, I think lag may have played a factor into that, but this was a dead set crazy, a little bit of a crazy race as Captain Farah runs a little bit wide. He's on board with SpagBol, and his debut for Renault. It's Lego Rob, again, not having the great starts. It's Flying Simang, his new teammate, up there in the foreground, but oh, he's got a bit of contact as well, and he's off. I think it's, well, Frizy as well in 92 in the Force India, but SpagBol's now down at the back. And a bit further. Oh dear, that's not sure exactly what happened to Schulte to Aussie there, but I'm just looking at the inside of Kiowas. Not quite far enough up there, but you see there, it was me. As he goes up the inside now by Kiowas, but a bit of a contact between those two. But you see there, I just had to let Roxman through, and in the end I let my teammate, no, actually I didn't let my teammate through. I actually went to the pit lane with him right behind me, but I could have easily let my teammate through there after I had front wing damage, but yeah, it was just all carnage. This is play. Oh, that was close there between Schulte to Aussie and Captain Farah. Nearly took him out, as you can see there. Buurtonn, and he nearly gets taken out as well by Schulte to Aussie's spinning car. So he's obviously had a big moment coming out of 7 and 8. Buurtonn dives down the inside, nearly tags Captain Farah. As he runs a little bit wide, runs out of. He's actually going to lose a spot here to Obadus as he lets him through. I think those two may have the drive-through penalties. I think Buurtonn is definitely going to come. Yes, he is going to come in. Serve his penalty this lap, so you see there, back on board with Captain Farah. Dive bomb up the inside. Nice big corner cut there. Around 14 and 15. He actually gets the move done as well. So that was really surprising. Roxman has a little bit of a moment coming out of turn 3, and around the outside comes my teammate. Very nice move. What a start to his Ferrari debut, but you see there, Ruthik Buurtonn now gets back up the inside of Captain Farah. There's a little bit of touch between those two and a little bit of lag. Bit of ghosting there as well. But now Captain Farah gets it back up the inside and gets the position, does he? Yes, he does. So that's him up into P5. But I don't think Ruthik Buurtonn's done yet. Not quite far enough in there. But here's Frizy coming in to fix some damage there. You see there, Stinchy. Like I said earlier, he did put the intermediate tyres on. That must have been not sure exactly what happened, but this is definitely not what Frizy wanted at the start of the race. He's going to have to change his front wing. He's going onto the hard tyres as well. I'm not exactly sure how Stinchy's going to work this, but he's on board with Lego Rob coming out of the pit lane. He's trying to go around the outside, and there's a bit more front wing damage to just come into the lane. He's going to have to more than likely come back into the lane, but he's on board with, this is Frizy. Yes, it is. You see they're going around his teammate. I think he rounded them up anyways. Prime now has a big moment at turn 10. Let's Roxman. That's an easy spot there for Roxman, but he's not done with yet. He's going to go up the inside here. Looks like he's far enough up there, but there's contact and off goes Roxman. That's not very ideal there, as you can see there with Captain Farah. There's Roxman off to the side there, but it's allowed Ikai was through, but we finally now come back to our POV, and we're currently in P11 as we now make a spot on Roxman, who I think is going to change his front wing, but Prime now coming back on Ikai. Trying around the outside here at turn 10, trying to go do the switch back. Not quite there yet. Hoping for a little mistake there, but someone's up his inside there. Might have been Captain Farah, but now Kaiwas is actually coming into the lane, so it's an early stop from him as Prime goes very wide. Just touches the gravel trap a little bit, and that goes Rhythmic Bird into position 2. So he's making some moves. He lowly qualified. We qualified lowly during the session, but now we set the fastest lap of the race, actually at 1:24.3. On the hard tyres, I was actually very surprised at the fastest lap on the hards, but we're now chasing after Buurtonn, who's in front of us there on the Salva, but we have a long way to go. So you see there, actually a little bit of battling going on there. You see there, oops, someone's gone well and truly wide. It's one of the Force Indias. I'm not sure exactly which one, but he's using the other bit of track, as we can cut back now. Now catching Ikai, who's now coming back into the lane again. He must have a bit of damage or something, or yeah, it must be he's damaged his front wing or something. But now we cut down to lap 5, and we're starting to catch Buurtonn here in the salvos, trying to make us get out of his slipstream, but it's not really going to work there. We're getting a little bit close there. And I was hoping he'd let me through, but we are battling for position, so I knew he wasn't going to make it easy for me, as we can make a little bit of a lock up there into turn 13. We just take that 14 curve too much and lose momentum a little bit to Buurtonn, so that was definitely not ideal for myself. I just had to get back into my rhythm there as now on board with Captain Farah. SpagBol is down his inside. A little bit of contact there between those two. He's not quite up the inside. The cop's a little bit of curb, but SpagBol just doesn't quite have enough. But now he's got a bit of a run there. Captain Farah is, well, doing his, I assume his normal thing, just doing a little block there. But you can't block too much, actually. But as we cut now back on to lap 6 of our point of view, and we're starting to catch up again to Buurtonn. We can see there from the bottom left, we're not really too far away from the battling mob, and there's a few cars there, quite 5 cars there battling each other, but we definitely have the pace over Buurtonn here. He's just, well, he's not really one of the quickest, sorry Buurtonn, but if you're watching this video, but now we have a better run coming out of the final corner. Tries to get out of a slipstream, but we cover it. We've got definitely DRS and Rich Mix a little bit close there, but we now finally get the move done on Buurtonn as we now are up into P9. Now we've got to chase after Flying Simang on his Renault debut. Yeah, see there, Stinchy's actually now retired from this session, so his car, he pulls off to the side of the road, I think. I'm not sure exactly whether he disconnected or something or other, but what it was to do with the intermediate tyres or not. But yeah, someone actually came into the lane then. Might have been surely the Aussie, but unfortunately Flying Simang actually disconnected as well. So we now go ghosting through his AI-driven car, and now back up at the P7. So we're starting to gain back a little bit of momentum. Like I said during the pit stop, we're definitely running long on this set of tyres. You can probably see there, I actually got the next set on the medium tyres, because I wasn't exactly sure where to pit, as I think someone's had a big moment coming out of turn 9, but we got back going again. But our pace wasn't too bad, as our teammates now into the lane as we take another spot in the P6 now. hitting lap 12. See there, we're not too far away from Ruthnik Bird, our championship leader. This was the time to pounce. Someone else has gone wide at just about out of turn 3 by the look of it. And he's continued on as our race leader, Sato, now comes into the lane. He's going onto the hard tyres, so he's only doing the one-stop strategy. Quite a bit different, but now Ruthnik Bird actually got by, I think, SpagBol. I think from memory, but now we have a bit of a run. We have a great run actually coming out of turn 3. Now we're up his inside. We should get this done by turn 4. Out the inside. Probably went one gear too much down anyway. Down one gear down too much, I think. If I get my words out. I'm talking gibberish right now, but yeah, now we continue on. We've got the move done. Now we've got to chase after, like I said, championship leader, who's well and truly ahead in the championship. He's absolutely killing it at the moment. There's a bit of a moment here for our race leader, just going a little bit wide. It allows Roxman through and actually gets him back onto the lead lap. So he doesn't want to do too many of those, I don't think. He's on board with Captain Farah. Runs a little bit right at turn 10. And again here at turn 14 and 15. Actually has a shocking run out of there. Ruthnik Bird up to the inside. Not enough room given there. That was definitely not helping Ruthnik Bird. It's certainly helping me as we have a bit of a screen freeze moment, and all of a sudden my teammates just come out of nowhere in front of me. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing in front of my eyes. How is my teammate in front of me after all that? I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I don't know what on earth was going on there. So, yeah, we continue on now at lap 16. This battle's still going on as Captain Farah just runs a little bit wide. Bit of a yellow flag there, and you'll understand why, because this lag incident, this screen freeze happens again, and it's actually my teammate that's gone well wide down at turn 3. Yeah, so it was all very crazy. Here's what happened on board with Prime's point of view. Apparently he rode my car. Thankfully he didn't sustain a lot more damage than that, so he was damn lucky. But it was an interesting moment there for Lego Rob as we get a 3-second time penalty for exceeding their track limits. But he just pretty much drove straight off, and that was all very weird. Cut now further on lap 17 now. Around turn 5, and that is Captain Farah going around. Not sure exactly what's happened there. Looks like he may have been turned around, and now he's actually out of the race. So his race has just gone down the drain now. We're going to have a replay here of what happened. He was actually battling Ruthnik Bird for position 3, effectively on the podium. Ruthnik Bird is down the inside. A bit of contact, and around he goes. So, yeah, that does explain a lot. There goes myself. We just go by, and obviously the Captain Farah tried to get going again, but he got a bit too much grass, and that's the result. His left front's gone. But he's on board with Ruthnik Bird. You see he dives down the inside now. It's well and truly up there, I think, but just tags the left rear of Captain Farah as he's gone around. But yeah, now we are a lot more closer to Ruthnik Bird. Bit of another lag moment there, as you can just tell. But yeah, we're a little bit closer now as he runs a little bit wide around the turn 14-15 chicane, or whatever you want to call it. It's four set of corners, but now we've got a bit of a run here. We've got DRS activated, rich mix. We're actually starting to close in a little bit now. Closing in at rapid pace, actually. Try and dive it down the inside. Probably just didn't quite have enough there in the end. Ruthnik Bird just holds on for the time being. As you come around turn 9, a big moment out of there on lap 20. That could have easily been a bit more costly. Just lose the rear there a little bit, but see there, if you look at the tyre wear, this the left side, it's starting to feel the tyre wear a lot. And I actually then decided to come into the lane, which I did this lap anyway, lap 22 now, and decided to put on the medium tyres. Now, you're probably wondering why I didn't choose the softs. Well, I mean, it's not far. It's only lap 22 of a 33 lap race. I wasn't sure whether the softs would quite get there on an 11 lap stint, but that might have just been me. You may have different opinions. And yeah, we're cut now to the next lap. Actually, Rithnik Bird has actually done his pit stop, and we come out just behind him, but we're still damn close. As my teammate, as you can see on the graphic, then has also come in, but we're now resuming hostilities again. This great battle. This was effectively for the podium. You see that I think Sato is absolutely dominant at the moment out in front. We haven't sighted him much. Actually, here we go. We're now sighting him now on lap 23. He's got a well and truly big gap on lock here. It's just a bit of a moment for the lap traffic for Hyperdeuce. Just loses the rear end there and just manages to get around Hyperdeuce, but that was a bit too close for comfort for a race leader. It's definitely not what you need when you've got a big size gap like he does, but yeah, we're still battling away here with Rithnik Bird. Now cut back to my teammate, who's actually battling with Buurtonn now for P9. Get a bit more couple of points here for Ferrari, because we definitely need this for the Constructors' Championship. Tries to go down the inside here at the chicane. He actually got quite a good run there, but Buurtonn wasn't giving too much space there, but he's got a bit of a better run now. Again, he's doing the same thing what he did to me, trying to get out of the prime out of the slipstream. But just does a little. I don't know whether that was lag or a bit of a brake check, but it certainly helped a little bit. But again, he tried looking at it, and now he's a bit further. Yeah, it was a cut now. I'm losing the plot now, as you can tell. I'm behind. His Roxman has just tagged Sanguinius Prime, and he's lost part of his front wing. I wouldn't be surprised if Roxman's got a bit of damage as well, but as you can tell, he was still behind Buurtonn at the time, and yeah, it was a bit of an opportunistic move for Roxman. He saw forward with Frizy what happened, but I don't think he was quite there. It was Roxman. But yeah, it was close, but we were having a good battle for fastest lap of the race. Rithnik Bird just set the fastest lap, and then I beat it by only just it was, but I felt like I had the pace to maybe try and get past Rithnik Bird, as well as on the different tyre strategies always. But now the teammate now comes in to fix the front wing and go on to the soft tyres, so you should be pretty quick at the end of the race. But I think that's Hyperdeuce as well, who's also come in as McLaren. This battle was still going on. Nearly lose the rear end coming out of turn 5, but this was a great battle. Never give in. Fully 100% committed. We just did not want to let up whatsoever. As you can see there, Sato just pretty much, I don't know how on earth he did a 19.3. I'm still trying to work that out, but there's a bit more of a moment there with Frizy, who's lagging all over the shop. His internet is not the best. So now we cut back to Sanguinius Prime, battling Hyperdeuce here for 11th place. Trying to go around the outside here at turn 9. He's going to try and do it around the outside of turn 9. And he does it as well. What a move. Great work, my teammate. But yeah, continuing on, Sato. There's Frizy still lagging everywhere, so I don't know what the hell happened there. But we have a bit of a moment here coming around turn 13, actually. But we actually lost a bit of momentum to Rithnik Bird, and there's a yellow flag there as well coming out of turn 4 on the rest pole. Okay, but we just started to lose a bit of momentum again, but I just had to get my head down. I'm not sure exactly what happened. It just the screen just seemed to have a bit of a moment. It just slowed down, and all of a sudden just had a big moment, and yeah, just lost all the ground, but now cutting lap 27. We're actually a bit more closer now. DRS and Rich Mix. We should be able to dive it up the inside down here into turn 1. We'll go for the big move, but we just lose the rear a little bit too much. So we had to cut this corner, nearly take out Ruth Thicbird, a bit like a la Sebastian Vettel 2010. That's pretty much all I remember of that, nearly of that race, but this was just continued this battle. It certainly wasn't helping our cause because SpagBol was starting to catch us in position 5. I think he was doing the long run on the hard tyres. But again, we are so close to Ruth Thicbird as again we got the DRS and Rich Mix. We decided to have another crack here, but in the end I just pulled out of it. I didn't want to do any damage to both our races and bugger it up. Especially not, like I said, since SpagBol is starting to catch both of us, but I think we're kind of starting to come up now a little bit of lap traffic now. It's one of the McLarens in front of us, but this was one of the great battles, like I said earlier. Now, I thought about going up the inside, but it was another bit of lag moment there as get past Ruth Thicbird actually goes past Hyperdeuce and I do as well. I actually tried to get a bit more speed on Hyperdeuce just to gain a little bit on Ruth Thicbird, but again, cutting on lap 29. We do have the DRS and Bridge Mix for the 3rd time. This time, we had to go around the outside and Nick covered his line, but locks up a little bit coming into turn 1, so now we got the outside line. This wasn't the ideal spot. We're a bit compromised, but there's a little bit of contact. Nearly ruined our races again, but this was just, as I nearly lose the rear end coming out of turn 4. And I have a big brake lock-up. I was probably a little bit overcommitted there. Probably just, I wouldn't say trying too hard, but it's just a case of, what's the word? What am I thinking? I'm trying to think of. My memory's not as great as it used to be, but don't forget about it. Here's what happened to, okay, it was an interesting moment for Bert. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We're on board with Frizy, but yeah, whatever I was trying to say, I pretty much forgot them. But at the time, as you can tell, at this time, you can probably tell that Lockie actually disconnected as well, but his AI card actually decided to pit, and it actually gave both of us a bit more moved us up the order a little bit, and actually put me onto the podium effectively. So, although as you remember, I do have the 3-second time penalty up my sleeve, so I've just got to drive like hell and basically just get to the enders. And Ruth Thicbird just runs a little bit wide, a little bit more contact. It might have damaged my front wing a little bit, but I knew it wouldn't affect me considering it was only like the second last lap of the race. But he was on board with what Lockie saw. He did reconnect, and this was the battle he saw. You can see that there was a little bit of debris from my front wing. Like I said, it didn't really affect me because again, it was nearly the last lap of the race. So yeah, but Sato's just absolutely killed us at the moment. He's now set off on the final lap of the race. I have no idea where Sato is going, but again, we've got a good run coming into turn 1. Ruth Thicbird covers. Again, he runs wide at turn 1. Didn't quite have the run, but we should have the run coming into turn 3. There's a bit of another lag moment there, but we've got a bit more momentum. Now we decide to dive it up there. We're down the inside. Didn't quite have the momentum. We touch wheels. At this point, I decided to do the switchback. Go big, deep under the brakes, but just didn't quite have enough. Lose the back end. Let Lockie through. Nearly take out SpagBol there. It would have been a bit awkward if I'd taken that SpagBol out, but that's allowed Lockie through. And he's actually starting to battle now with Ruth Thicbird, but as I said, probably a little over keen, let's just say. But here's the replay of what happened with Lockie, and you see the run that we had. It was a brilliant run. There's diving up the inside, bit of a lock brake, touch bang wheels there. Coming into turn 5, I decided to do a switchback move. probably a little bit too eager down there. I mean, it was just one of those things. We now cut back to our race leader, Sato, who's going to dominate and win the Spanish Grand Prix. And actually, this is his first ASR victory, so congratulations to Sato. Absolutely dominant performance, like I said. But cut back to us now. There's a chase after SpagBol, but there's been a carnage, bit of an incident there, I should say, between Lockie and Ruthik Bird. Lockie spun around. I don't know what's happened there. Now Ruthik Bird goes a little bit wide coming into turn 13, I think it was. Or 14, no, 13, I was right. But he managed to get around. SpagBol will come home in second. We finish in third, but with the 3-second time penalty, we were relegated to fourth. Managed to hold on to P5 because of Lockie's spin. Only just there, but yeah, he is on board with Lockie. Let's just see what happens. He's up the inside of Ruthik Bird. He's well and truly up there, but I think Ruthik tried to do the switchback, but it didn't quite work. Yeah, I don't know. It looks a tough one. All angles. That was on board with SpagBol, but that was all just very weird there as we, as I said, we're keeping on board with SpagBol here to the finish line. So he finished in P2. Probably had a bit of luck go his way, but it's not a bad way to debut for Renault since he's changed teams. But fortunately, we couldn't get any footage from Ruthik Bird before with that incident with Lockie. But here's that lock-up he did into turn 13, which allowed me through. If only he'd buggered up maybe a bit more, maybe I would have grabbed that podium. But in the end, he came home in P4, which was effectively P3 when he had the 3-second time penalty. But yeah, I don't know about that one. That's going to be interesting. That was on board with Sato after the race, but it'll be interesting to see what the stewards decide of that. But there's the podium. Sato pretty much dominant, like I said earlier. Yeah, dominant is what else can you say? SpagBol in second, Ruthik Bird finishing in third with a question mark over his head with that incident with Lockie. But his first ASR win, he was pretty happy with that. As you can see there, very dominant. Nearly 28 seconds back to SpagBol. But yeah, we finished in P4 effectively. We're still waiting on what's going to happen with the stewards. But there's the updated point standings. Ruthik Bird continues his domination up front. Sato's now moved up as well as SpagBol. We've moved into P5. You see there, Renault have now jumped to the constructors' lead ahead of Toro Rosso. Ferrari starting to make moves as well in P7, but yeah, it's just going to have to wait and see what the stewards say. Could effectively be P3, you never know, but yeah, that's where this video is going to end today, guys and girls. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a big smash on that like button. Leave a comment down below if you want to say something about this race. As always, subscribe to my channel if you want to see plenty more F1 2017 Aussie Sim Racing videos, as well as plenty other video gaming content. And if you want to follow me on social media, all the links will be down in the description. You can give me a follow down there. But for the moment, guys and girls, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.